Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo Karjalainen. It's good to have you along. And today I'm talking about scalloped guitar necks and why I like them. I'll be right back after this intro. Okay, welcome back. So today I'm talking about scalloped guitar necks. Should you get scallops? Well, I don't know. The backstory to this is that ages ago I bought an Yngwie Malmsteen Strat. A friend of mine used to work at the local instrument music store here, and they got a second-hand Yngwie Strat, and he said he's going to buy it unless I buy it. He said, "You're the bigger Yngwie fan," so he let me have first choice. I tried it and I wasn't entirely convinced actually, but I still bought it. I was a huge Yngwie Malmsteen fan and it was a very good guitar. And one of the problems with the guitar at first was that it had scallops. They felt really weird. I mean, you play a chord and it can come out sounding like this. Because I was used to fretting notes so that you felt the wood under your fingers. Basically, I just pressed down enough that I felt the wood, and that was it. And with the scallops, there isn't any wood under your fingers, so I just pressed down too much, and it sounded terrible. But it didn't take long for me to grow to like them, and there was a problem with that as well, because at that time my friend who makes guitars for me and repairs guitars for me, he didn't have the machinery to do it, to make scallops, so he would have to do it by hand. And I wanted all my other guitars to have scallops as well when I tried, or when I'd gotten used to the Yngwie Malmsteen Strat. But the thing is that doing it by hand, he said that that'll take time and it'll be costly. And basically I think it was, we had finish marks back then, and it was, for a 24 fret guitar, it was 2400 finish marks, which would have been roughly £240 at the time. Times have changed. It's difficult to say what that would be now. But nowadays he has the machinery to do it mechanically, so he doesn't have to do it by hand. The problem was that every other guitar I had was a regular guitar, and then I had this one with scallops, and I found I was constantly going back to that guitar. And the reasons were fairly simple. The reason was not that it was easier to play faster. It's not. It has nothing to do with this stuff. It has something to do with what I did right at the end. I did a bit of vibrato, and scallops make it so much easier to do bends and vibrato because there's no wood obstructing the movement of the string. So the string just basically glides up and down the fret without touching the fretboard. Now, that's very, very good for bends. So you can do all kinds of stuff much easier than on a regular guitar. All of that stuff became so much easier because you can really grab the string and it's just you and the string and the fret. The fretboard is taken out of the equation. I'm making this sound like math suddenly. And that's basically the whole reason why I like scallops. And of course you can do all the same stuff on a regular guitar as on a scalloped guitar, but it's much harder and not in a fun, challenging kind of way, because especially this bendy type stuff, that's the, at least for me, where I find that I express myself most. I don't mean to say that I don't when I play fast, but this is the thing that really gives a guitar player his or her voice. Bends are what separates us from piano players, for instance, because they can't bend. And scallops really help you with that. Now, are scallops for you? I don't know, but do check them out. I have scallops on, well, most of my guitars. I have 3 7-string guitars that don't have scallops. One because it has binding around the fretboard, and I rarely use it for anything other than rhythm anyway. And then I have 2 Ibanez Universe guitars with really nice inlays on the fretboard, and I don't want to screw those up, so I'm not doing scallops on those. And because, well, basically I don't like those guitars as much, and that would screw up the resale value if I decide to sell them at some point. But all of my Strats, all of my 6-string guitars have scallops, and I find that scallops are one of the reasons I constantly play those guitars. There are other reasons as well. The single coil or stacked humbuckers in this case are one reason, but I just like the feel of scallops. It's brilliant. So that's basically the whole thing behind scallops. It's nothing to do with speed, absolutely nothing. It has everything to do with control and precision when it comes to bending and vibrato, and I think those two, bends and vibrato, are the most important things that we lead guitar players at least have in our arsenal. If you play jazz it might be slightly different, but still, especially blues, rock, metal guys, playing leads, bends and vibrato are the thing that for me kind of make or break a guitar player, and scallops really help with that. So that's basically all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and give it a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to support me on Patreon, because that helps me make more of these videos. And hey, comment below if you have scallops or not, and what you think of them and why are they good for you. Now, and like I said in the beginning, playing chords became slightly more difficult, but you get over that fairly quickly. It's not very difficult at all after you get used to it. Except that this one is now out of tune. So, yeah, like I said, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in another one. I'll end by playing a bit on this scalloped mahogany Strat. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.